There are essentially 4 scenarios, I believe, as to why you might be interested in doing this course. So scenario 1, let's start with that one. It's a situation where you say, well, my patient wants to stop snoring. They've come to you, they're interested in OTC oral devices, they're examining sprays, perhaps nasal strips or pillows. They've seen some information online, they may have seen some ads for custom devices even. Anyway, these people are generally motivated by their bed partner, either an existing bed partner because it's now become intolerable, their situation at home, or a prospective bed partner. Perhaps they're moving on, it's a new relationship and it's reached a critical point and they want to address things and they want to address it now. They become very desperate. That places a responsibility upon you to help them. And when I mean that, actually help them. It may be, and this is the warning, beware, they may actually have sleep apnea, the symptom of which is their snoring. So helping them would not be just a case of silencing the snoring. You need to understand why they're snoring. What is the problem? Okay, so that's scenario 1. Recap, my patient wants to stop snoring. They've just come to you and you want to find out more about how to help them. So let's move on. Scenario 2. You say, I've received a referral. The patient's diagnosed with sleep apnea. They've been sent to me to make a mandibular repositioning device. What on earth is that? What do I do? Perhaps you're thinking, well, which oral device should I use? What about bruxism? This patient has a particular malocclusion. They have a perio condition perhaps. Or what about TMJ dysfunction? Shouldn't the referring doctor tell me which device I should use? Well, what if they're not fit from a dental perspective? Well, all of these questions are all legitimate. And the thing to remember here is that you are in control. At this point, they're medically diagnosed. They have a respiratory condition. But we're now in a double prescription situation where you determine, first of all, is an oral appliance viable? Would it be prejudicial to their teeth, their gingiva, their perio, their TMJ? So this is a double prescription situation, and then you need to determine whether it's appropriate and then which device you're going to use. So you're in control in this scenario 2. Let's move on. So scenario 3, you say, or perhaps you don't say, I snore. In this situation, well, perhaps you're thinking, well, I've seen all these oral devices, I've seen the adverts, I've seen, online, perhaps in the journals. I think it might be time, it seems like it's within my grasp to actually do something about this for myself. Well, that's a perfectly legitimate reason. But again, self-diagnosing yourself is not a great way to go about things. And just subjectively doing so, again, we're going to talk about the risks and consequences perhaps of that as we go on with this course. So scenario 4, you say, I've been doing this a while. Perhaps you've been making anti-snoring devices. Perhaps you've just been working on a referral basis. Patients sent to you, you've got a good relationship with a physician, but you're just stuck perhaps with one manufacturer's device. And you think, well, sometimes it's not so successful. Perhaps we could do better. Or perhaps you're just taking patients from the high street in ignorance of sleep apnea. Perhaps you're starting to wonder what it is. And the consequences, maybe you're not doing it quite right, or perhaps you've just been on a manufacturer's course and you think, okay, well, it looks like there's something interesting here. There's more to it. You've had some mixed success, perhaps. Well, this is a good reason. Well, I'm hoping that I can help you progress. So let's just bring those 4 scenarios all together. And I think we're all in this situation, and we'd all agree that what we all want is for the snoring noise to stop. That seems fair enough. We want our snoring patient to sleep and breathe at the same time, fundamentals. And we want them to be effectively treated and compliant. We want them to actually use this device long term and for it to actually help them. And we want them to be happy. At the end of the day, we want them to be our salesman. We want them to proclaim our success and give that feedback. So, I think we can say that continue then, well, we all agree we certainly don't want to be making a problem while trying to fix another problem. So solving their problem and aggravating their TMJs, not such a great situation. And obviously, I say obviously, but certainly we do not want to be ignoring any sleep apnea condition. Now, it's possible and it's quite feasible that an oral appliance could help them with their sleep apnea, but we need to have a baseline. We need to know what we're dealing with, and oral appliances are not a panacea. They do not work for everybody. We need to understand what we're dealing with. So that brings it all together. These are the 4 scenarios. What else have we have? So, yeah, there we are. What we all want, doing the right thing. And then key, I suppose, on this one is, are we indemnified? We want to make sure we stay on the right side of the law. And yeah, we're in business. We want to help more similar patients.